Penelope are partying with a bunch of their friends on a beach in Santa Barbara, California, when Penelope suddenly seems to cross over into another realm. It was Penelope's turn to go to the car for supplies when she suddenly vanished. Penelope, where the fuck are you? Can you hear me? How did this happen? Jack searches the perimeter of the beach but can't seem to find Penelope. Meanwhile, Penelope has found herself in a shack in a forest in Park Ridge, Illinois. It seems as though there's a passageway through time and space that connects Park Ridge, Illinois to a beach in Santa Barbara, California. Penelope walks out of the shack into a bright sunny day and is greeted by a nymphomaniac named Maud, a tall woman with purple hair and green eyes. So pleased to meet you. What is your name? Hi, I'm Penelope. I'm quite out of sorts at the moment. I was on a beach in Santa Barbara, California. Now, here I am in a forest in Park Ridge, Illinois. How is this possible? You weren't in the real Santa Barbara, California, Penelope. You crossed over into a simulated version of Santa Barbara, California. A simulated version of Santa Barbara, California? Yes, when you are. Just trying to find where I left off. Okay. Where this continues in my script, my notebook. Oh, God. Where the fuck is it? You were. In this shack, space is expanded by the hyperspace dimensions. You have access to these dimensions because your mind has been enlightened by the ancient spirits who wander the California coast along the Santa Barbara beaches. These ancient spirits are goddesses who used to reign in Santa Barbara before an earthquake toppled over the population there eons ago. The goddesses who used to rule there, the goddess who used to rule there, whose name was Penelope. I'm self-flattered. There's a new goddess that shall reign in Santa Barbara. What's her name? Katy Perry. The pop star? Yeah. Katy Perry's music is on a level of transcendence that has the potential to restore order to the ecosystem in California. And the positive energy that is generated by her music has a power to it that connects to the soul of the land there. That is a constructive element of nature. She is a person who can bring mankind back into harmony with nature. How do I tell Katy Perry that she is supposed to be the goddess of Santa Barbara who is destined to save the ecosystem there? She needs to join you in the simulated version of Santa Barbara and see me here in Park Ridge, Illinois. She can help save the ecosystem. The ecosystem. I've been thinking about that myself. The ecosystem is being threatened by people's neglect. I agree. Katy Perry is good for the ecosystem. What should I do now? Get back in the shack and party in the simulated version of Santa Barbara. Okay. Penelope goes back into the shack. All of a sudden, Maud hears screams of bloody violence. It appears that the enemy of nature and beauty has manifested itself as a vicious monster trying to sabotage Penelope's environmental plans. The environment is in peril. Maud looks up and sees a 7-foot tall monster in the woods of Park Ridge. This monster is covered in hair, somewhat resembling a Sasquatch, but has arms that can extend themselves to 20 feet each, allowing them to attack prey in the near distance and easily mutilate them by tearing off their limbs. Now, the monster traps you in its stare with its piercing eyes, giving you a few seconds to decide how you're going to fight for your life. It's a malevolent monster indeed. Maud decides she must tell Penelope this and enters into the simulated version of Santa Barbara through the shack. Maud sees Penelope partying on the beach with a bunch of people there. Hi, Penelope. Hi, Maud. Penelope, I've got something to tell you. Back in Park Ridge, Illinois, there's a vicious monster mauling people. What can we do? I had an idea. I think we should go see Katy Perry in Las Vegas at a residency, and get backstage passes so we can tell her that she is the destined goddess who has appeared in Santa Barbara as a human being to save the ecosystem. Sure, that would be good. Why don't Penelope departed from the simulated version of Santa Barbara and re-enter the woods in Park Ridge? Let's go rent a car that we can drive to Las Vegas to see Katy Perry in concert. Sure, Maud. Maud and Penelope rent a car at a local place and drive all the way to Las Vegas. They walk up to the ticket booth where the concert is being held and inquire about backstage passes. Do you have any backstage passes available for this evening's show? Sure, they're $2,000 each. For that amount of money, you can meet Katy Perry in person. Give us 2 tickets. The woman at the ticket booth gives Maud and Penelope 2 tickets. Katy Perry puts on a spectacular performance, playing hits along with some of her other more obscure songs. After the show, Maud and Penelope go backstage to meet Katy Perry. Hi, Katy. I'm Maud. This is Penelope. It's so nice to meet you, Maud and Penelope. How did you like the performance? All of a sudden, Mike Meyer appears backstage, as he has also purchased backstage pass to meet Katy Perry. I loved it, Katy. I would have loved to hear some of your earlier overlooked songs. I love the songs from your album A that was never released. I've learned some of those songs and would love to record them with you to be released. I love that album too, Mike. I think that the songs on that are as strong as anything I've ever written. Let's record those songs and release the version of that album. Maybe after I'm done with my Las Vegas residency. It would be fucking awesome, Katie. I could put some rock and roll intensity behind those songs, which are so full of beautiful pop hooks. The result, I think, would be so intensely powerful and beautiful. I think it would be a perfect marriage of hard rock nerve and attitude with intelligent, emotional, and sweetly poetic lyrics that speak to both the human heart and the libido. I think you might have me, Mike. Let's record it. Now it's time for my purpose here, Katie. I came here to tell you that you are the destined goddess of the environment, which is in peril, that was sent to Santa Barbara as a human being to save the environment. To save the environment. Really? Me? That's wonderful. What can I do to save the environment? You have supernatural powers, Katie. Do you remember that lyric that you wrote for your debut album where you sang that you would move mountains and say that you loved your lover? Yes, I remember that. That was a metaphor to express the lengths to which I would go to express romantic love to the person I felt I was destined to be with. You really have those powers, Katie. And with them, you can help save the environment. I mean, just look what's taking place in California recently. You had those rains, all the flooding and everything. Obviously, the ecosystem is out of balance. All the scientists who have been warning about the thinning of the ozone layer, chlorofluorocarbons being emitted into the environment, tearing away at the ozone layer, the global warming, the rising of the sea levels. These are truisms that need to be addressed. And with your powers, you can make a contribution to the saving of the ecosystem. And I can really still the ocean. With the power of your mind, you can calm the ocean, just like you sang in that song, along with other things for the environment. Let's start that, Ma. They continue to talk into the night. They get up the next morning. Feeling the Las Vegas heat. Mike and Katie take a walk, discussing the musical philosophies, among other things. I really like your approach to music, Katie. From what I have learned from interviews with you, you were raised in a strict religious home, but found that you had musical talent and the ambition to pursue fortune and fame. A lot of your music reflects your desire to liberate yourself from any type of societal control and that which imposes any type of restrictions on your life. This is truly the rock and roll spirit. Let's see, what else have I written for this? Anything? I don't know. That might have been where maybe I should continue with that story, writing new stuff for that story. What about that might be it. Okay, wait a minute. I think it might be. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, to be continued.